So please read.
An individual has a right to move the Supreme Court under Article 32 directly in case of any violation of fundamental rights, and the High Courts under Article 226, and the Supreme Court and the High Courts issues appropriate writs to enforce such rights.
For such rights.
Rights.
So next point. How many rights are there? How many types of rights are there?
Five writs.
5 types of rights. What is the first one?
Habeas corpus.
What is the first writ known as?
Means produce the body.
Habeas corpus का मतलब क्या है?
Means produce the body.
Produce the body. इसे होता क्या? What happens?
By issuing such a writ, the court can require that a person who is prisoner to be brought before it to obtain knowledge of the reason why he has been detained, and to set him free if there is no lawful justification for his detention.
तो क्या है? हेबियस कॉर्पस का मतलब क्या है? प्रोड्यूस द बॉडी. अरे क्यों है? Require that a person who is a prisoner to be brought before it to obtain the knowledge of the reason why he has been detained to set him free. If there is no to set him free, if there is no lawful justification for his detention. तो याद रखो काफी है. ठीक है? The writ of habeas corpus cannot be issued against
following cases.
when
the person against whom the writ is issued is not within jurisdiction of the court.
If there is no jurisdiction, the writ cannot be issued. Next.
To intervene with the proceedings for contempt by the court of record or by parliament.
क्या है? To intervene with a proceedings or contempt of by a court or by parliament. माने अगर कोई proceedings चल रही, गवर्नमेंट की कार्रवाई चल रही and he has been taken, so it cannot be issued. Next.
To secure the release of a person who has been imprisoned by a court of law on a criminal charge.
So the court of law ही उसको आप जेल को भिजा दिया, so this writ cannot be issued. ठीक है? So this is habeas corpus. What is habeas corpus? Habeas corpus का मतलब
to produce the body.
To produce the body. मतलब इसका
body.
to produce the body. And what is the purpose?
Require that a person who is a prisoner to be brought before it to obtain the knowledge.
To set him free if there is no lawful justification.
Justification.
Okay. Next, so what is the second remedy we have?
Mandamus.
Mandamus. Mandamus का मतलब?
We command.
We command. Mandamus is
command.
We command.
Command.
Next. It is a command.
It is a command which can be issued to any inferior court or to any public or quasi-public authority who has refused to perform its legal duty.
So क्या है? Mandamus means we command. It is a command which can be issued to any inferior court or any public or quasi-public authority which has refused to perform its legal duty. So this is very, very important. What is
Quasi-public
mandamus?
authority example, sir?
Any public authority, RTA, RTO, MRO,
Okay.
any government office. So any inferior court or any public or quasi-public authority which has refused to perform its legal duty.
Legal duty.
और कौन से? It is a high prerogative writ. Maximum जब आप कोर्ट में जब when you start practicing, you will use this writ only maximum. Right.
Okay.
Next, it is a high prerogative writ, most extensive remedial measure. The court may issue the mandamus.
To compel any person to perform the public duty. To compel any person to perform the public duty where duty is given him by the constitution or statute.
Given him by the constitution or a statute.
State.
ये ड्यूटी को कौन गिवन? ड्यूटी should be given by the constitution or a statute or law. Clear point? To compel any person to perform public duty where duty is given by him constitution or a statute. Next.
To compel a court or judicial tribunal to exercise its jurisdiction when it has refused to exercise it.
So when a court says that it won't work or it won't help, then this writ can be used. Next.
To direct a public official or the government not to expose a law which is unconstitutional.
Not to expose a law which is not to use a law which is unconstitutional. Okay. Like for this, we are having the Waqf law, right? Now, the Supreme Court has said
yes,
this cannot be applied unless until the legality is determined. Okay.
Okay.
This is your mandamus.
Mandamus will not be granted on the following.
Mandamus will not be granted to the following. कौन से?
The president or the governor of the state.
The president or the governor of the state. The mandamus will not be granted. किसको mandamus grant नहीं होता.
अच्छा.
किसको grant नहीं होगा mandamus?
President, governor.
President
and governor. Sir, what about Prime Minister, sir?
Minister का you cannot give to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister माने government होगा ना. Prime Minister is the rarest of the rarest case. But ऐसा तो कभी नहीं आया वहाँ के Prime Minister को grant करो बोले.
Okay.
So president or the governor of any state. Next.
Mandamus does not lie against a private individual or body, whether incorporated or not, except whether the state is in coalition with such private party.
So, it is just remember, mandamus does not lie against a private individual or body. It is only for public servants, not for private individual. Okay.
Okay.
Next you have
prohibition.
Third, it is prohibition.
Prohibition.
What is prohibition?
The writ of provision is issued by the Supreme Court or High Court to lower court, forbidding the latter to continue proceeding therein to exercise its jurisdiction.
तो क्या है? Prohibition is writ of provision issued by Supreme Court or High Court to whom? The lower
High
court, forbidding or stopping the latter to continue
lower courts.
the proceeding in excess of the jurisdiction. जो अपने दायरे से बाहर चले गए तो उसको रोकने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट will issue the writ. Next.
The object of the writ is to compel lower courts to keep themselves within the limits of their jurisdictions.
तो object क्या है? What is the aim of this writ? To compel the lower court to keep their limits within the jurisdiction. माने अपना दायरा उन लोगों का पार नहीं करना. Next. Explain.
The difference between the mandamus and the prohibition is that mandamus can be issued against any person, government, or judicial body, but prohibition is issued only against judicial and quasi-judicial authority.
माने मैंडामस कोर्ट को भी इशू कर सकते हैं और पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स को भी इशू कर सकते हैं, लोअर कोर्ट्स को. बट writ of prohibition can be issued only to quasi judicial bodies. माने its prohibition is only for courts, whereas mandamus is for courts as well as public authorities. Next.
Public authorities. It is not available against administrative authorities, legislative bodies, and private individuals or bodies.
So it is as we said, the mandamus and the writ of prohibition. Prohibition क्या है? It's not applicable. It's not available against administrative authorities, legislative bodies, and private individuals. It is available only against the courts, the inferior courts.
Yes.
Okay. It's very, very important. We have completed the prohibition. Next we have certiorari.
Certiorari. Certiorari is a Latin word meaning to be informed of or to be certified.
Certiorari. So what is certiorari?
It is a Latin word meaning to be informed of or to be certified.
To be certified.
Certified.
So certiorari का meaning क्या है? It is a Latin word to be informed of or to be certified. Next.
The writ certiorari can be issued by the Supreme Court or any High Court for quashing the order passed by the inferior courts, tribunal, or quasi-judicial authority.
The writ certiorari can be issued by Supreme Court or any High Court for quashing means cancelling, or the order passed by inferior court, tribunal, or quasi-judicial authority. ठीक है. Next point. आवाज नहीं आ रही. Hello. Read it.
Or
The condition necessary. The voice नहीं आ रही.
or just
हेलो।
हाँ सर, आवाज आ रही है।
पढ़ रहे कौन?
नहीं पता। द कंडीशन नेसेसरी
द कंडीशन
फॉर
नेसेसरी
इशू
फॉर द
ऑफ
इशू ऑफ
such writ is that a court, tribunal, or officer must have passed an order acting without jurisdiction or in excess of judicial authority vested by law in such court, tribunals, or offices. Thus, unlike prohibition, which is only prevention, certiorari is both preventive as well as curative.
the certiorari is both. It is very important point. Prohibition is only preventive. Certiorari is both preventive as well as curative. Please note on this point. Prohibition is only preventive, whereas certiorari is both preventive as well as curative.
Curative.
Prohibition only preventive, whereas certiorari
Both.
both
Preventive
preventive
and curative.
and curative. Done.
सर, ये प्रोहिबिशन और सर्जरी सिमिलर नहीं लग रही हैं? दोनों ही
वही
सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट।
वही तो डिफरेंस बताया ना आपको मैं।
हम्म।
प्रोहिबिशन क्या है?
प्रिवेंटिव।
ओनली प्रिवेंटिव मेजर है, दैट्स ऑल। काम करने से रोक देता हूँ। सर्चुररी
अच्छा।
काम अगर हो गया, गलत हो भी गया, तो फिर भी उसको सही
हम्म।
करता हूँ।
अच्छा 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 अच्छा। मतलब लोअर कोर्ट गलत काम कर रहा है तो प्रोहिबिशन विल स्टॉप इट।
पहले ही रोक देता हूँ उसको।
और सर्जरी में अगर रोकता भी हो, गलत दे दिया तो उसको रेक्टिफाई भी करता।
यस।
ओके।
प्रिवेंटिव प्रोहिबिशन इज प्रिवेंटिव, सर्चुररी इज बोथ प्रिवेंटिव एंड क्यूरेटिव।
क्यूरेटिव।
ठीक है। नेक्स्ट यू हैव सर्चुररी, सॉरी, यू हैव योर
क्यू वारंटो।
को वारंटो।
सर, सर्जरी का एक और पैराग्राफ दे रखा है।
तो
इसको रीड करना सर, टिल
नहीं,
रिसेंटली।
जरूरत नहीं, नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट।
ये सर सर्जरी लास्ट लास्ट पैराग्राफ।
All we have done. Directly read the co warranto now.
को वारंटो मीन्स बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी?
को वारंटो का मतलब क्या है?
इट इज अ रिट और ऑर्डर बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी?
रिट और ऑर्डर एट बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी।
अथॉरिटी।
मतलब क्या है इसका?
बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी?
बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी माने क्या अथॉरिटी आपके पास? अरेस्ट वारंट है? नहीं है। नेक्स्ट।
It is a writ or order to any authority who occupies public office or liberty, who is asked to show by what authority the claims to be a public office.
तो माने इट्स वेरी क्लियर। को वारंटो मीन्स बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी? इट इज अ रिट और ऑर्डर to any authority who occupies public office or liberty who is asked to show by what authority the claim to a public office। माने
Hmm.
अगर कोई गलत सर्टिफिकेट्स लगा दिए और हाउ यू आर एलिजिबल टू ऑक्यूपाई ए पब्लिक ऑफिस, इट आस्क द क्वेश्चन। ठीक
मतलब
है।
फर्जी डॉक्यूमेंट लगा के जॉब पे चले गए तो क्यू वारंटो उसके खिलाफ कर सकते हैं।
यस।
सर, ये
ठीक है।
सर्जरी में लास्ट लिखा हुआ है कि prohibits the judicial bodies for making ultra virus ऑर्डर सर ये क्या है? अल्ट्रा वायरस
बियॉन्ड कैपेसिटी। अब अल्ट्रा
बियॉन्ड
वायरस जा रहे,
कैपेसिटी।
बियॉन्ड द बाउंड्री, जुरिस्डिक्शन पार कर रहे हो लोग।
क्या पार कर रहे हैं?
जुरिस्डिक्शन, बियॉन्ड द जुरिस्डिक्शन जा रहे हैं तो उसको रोक दे रहे।
हम्म
When you are going beyond the jurisdiction, you are being stopped.
मतलब आप अपनी लिमिट क्रॉस करेंगे, सो सर्जरी हैज पावर टू स्टॉप यू।
Yes.
हम्म
What is prohibition?
सर ये इसका रेट्स का डाल दीजिएगा ग्रुप में सर, अभी जैसे डाला ना आपने।
I'll send the PDF. पूरे PDF की जरूरत है।
ठीक है।
So, understood these points?
डन डन।
The
Yes.
certiorari,
Yes, sir.
habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari and quo warranto. Done?
क्यू वारंटो।
पहले क्या आना?
हैबियस कॉर्पस,
Habeas corpus, second mandamus, third
प्रोहिबिशन,
prohibition, quo warranto
क्यू वारंटो,
and
सर्जरी।
certiorari. Done with this?
हम्म सर ओवर क्लास।
एक मिनट। One is mandamus. First one is
हैबियस
habeas
कॉर्पस,
corpus. Second is mandamus.
मैंडेमस,
Third is
प्रोहिबिशन,
prohibition. Fourth is
क्यू वारंटो, सर्जरी।
warranto will have the fourth one.
क्यू वारंटो।
Sir, order mandatory है sir.
हाँ, याद रखना लोग। warranto
Okay.
last you have
सर्जरी।
certiorari.
Tertiary.
सर श्योर।
तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में कौन सा दिया हुआ है?
यही जो आप बता रहे हैं, फोर्थ वन इज क्यू वारंटो, फिफ्थ वन इज सर्जरी।